Good morning, everyone. Today I'm going to be talking about what E.ON's doing as far as smart green utilities of the future and what our thoughts are about them and where we think things might be going. So myself, I work for E.ON 1. It's a new business unit. It's just recently been formed. It was announced at our capital market days last year with great enthusiasm. And now it's our job to sort of deliver on the ideas that came out of that. Essentially, as many of you know, E.ON is a large DSO operator. We distribute, we've also got a customer solutions business, heating, cooling, that kind of thing. We also do a lot in gas. We don't do so much anymore in the production space. We used to do a lot in production. We had a lot of renewables. I'm sure you all know this. So we do spend a lot of time thinking about where the energy system of the future is going. And as many of you know, and I don't have to educate anyone here, I'm sure, of the major consumer trends, which is disrupting our industry essentially. PV and how it's on an exponential curve, on a downward cost, on making it accessible to significantly more people these days. Batteries doing the same thing. Many new types of decentral energy resources coming online. Heat pumps will be a big thing in the next coming years. Changing consumer tastes, like using electric vehicles. We at E.ON believe electric mobility is going to be a big thing in the future, and I think many people do. However, when we think of what the core thing E.ON thinks about on a daily basis, it's this. It's energy security is key. Our customers need to have access to affordable energy, renewable energy, which is reliable and resilient. And this is becoming significantly more difficult in the world that's evolving right now. In a world where to match supply with demand, all you had to do is rev up the coal plants when demand went up or rev them down when demand went down. That is easy. But in a world where we're saying we don't want to use coal, which is a reliable baseload energy production factor, or nuclear, and also not gas, and Russia's made gas difficult as well. We're required to think about how do we match supply and demand with intermittent production factors. Solar is fantastic, and the costs are incredible. Same with wind. I mean, we've already reached coal parity, where we can produce energy with those resources cheaper than we can with coal or with nuclear. This is fantastic. But how do we match supply with demand? And for that, we need enablement technologies. And that's why I'm excited to be here today, because I think many of you are working on these problems, and many of you are making bets on the future of who are going to be the winners in that space. So these are the things we've been thinking about at E.ON. Now, we want to actively secure access to the technologies that will enable this energy transition and the energy future. We as E.ON believe we need to do this via strategic partnerships, also acquiring these types of technologies, and participating in the ecosystem. Part of our major efforts up until now, quite soon after our capital market days announcement of us going in this direction, we acquired a majority stake in GridX, who is here today. David will be here, we'll be talking later on as well, and in Envelio. Envelio has a digital twin, do grid connection calculations, so that's everything on the grid, and then behind the meter we've got GridX, which I think David will talk about that later on. So we're busy building up this ecosystem of capabilities. And we believe the free market is a very powerful mechanism at selecting who's the winner and who's the loser. And that's why we're speaking to startups and technology developers, both for strategic partnerships, both for potential strategic investments, which we'll work with our colleagues from Future Energy Ventures, and Enos will be coming up in a minute and telling you more about that. And occasionally, we also do strategic M&A transactions, where we buy a large stake in a business and try and help accelerate it even faster. Thank you very much for your time. I hope you have a great conference, and hope I get a chance to speak to a couple of you. Thank you. Cheers.